This is in response to Dr. Paul Krugman's article in the New York Times on Friday, July 17th, 2015, Liberals and Wages. Now, on Monday, Hillary gave a very, very upbeat, thorough economic speech in which one of the main premises of it is that the government should be involved in helping increasing wages for everyone, basically, but we need to start at the bottom first for those who are making the minimum wage. And of course, the Republicans derided it immediately. Dr. Krugman joked that the first thing they had to say was Benghazi, 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 and then they had to trash it because what Hillary is basically saying is government has a vital role to play in making the economic lives of individual Americans better. And the Republicans' basic premise is that government is the problem, it is not the solution, and it will never be the solution. And of course, this is what's been going on for 35 years, because when Reagan was campaigning in 1979 and 1980, his little joke was, well, the worst 9 words that you could ever hear is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. But that has been so much debunked in terms of we need a vibrant, vital, futuristic looking government pushing all sectors of the economy and pushing wages to get the maximum amount of growth that we need. Now, what the Republicans will say, no, the government's the problem, and we're relying on supply and demand. Supply and demand, just like pork bellies, just like oil, just like corn, that's supply, that's demand. And what social scientists have found, what social economists have found, is that it's more than just that. It is that what we have is vital, different things that are going on in terms of what a worker does for a company, as where the Republicans would like to think of that person as a direct commodity. They're just a commodity. They're just a body. They got to be there for a certain amount of hours. They got to have a minimum amount of skill, and you pay them accordingly. And Hillary is basically saying, no, you pay them good wages. It increases their loyalty to the company. It increases their tax rate to the government. It increases the amount of productivity it has. It decreases the amount of turnover that you have. So these are all positive things that happen when you increase the wages. And there have been studies in the last 20 years on the minimum wage, which have significantly shown that because what they've done is any time that you have an increase in the minimum wage in one state, that means the minimum wage in the surrounding states, 2, 3, or 4 states around them, or cities in a city and all of the suburbs around them, you have an immediate test tube as to how you can see how this reacts. What happens when you raise the minimum wage in the state? What happens when you raise the minimum wage in the city? What happens in the surrounding states? What happens in the surrounding cities? And conclusively, it has shown for the last 20 years that it is not a job killer. It is not a job killer. There is no correlation between a higher rate of pay for the lowest wage workers and a loss of jobs. Now remember, our Republican friends say day in and day out that raising the minimum wage is a job killer. But we have statistical evidence, and even Dr. Krugman pointed out that he was sort of a believer of the idea that, hey, if you raise wages, then you're going to decrease employment. So, and of course, we have at least one model on each side. The Walmart side, pay them shitty wages. People look like they're dead when they're working there. They don't they don't necessarily work as hard as they really could. Or you have and the high turnover rate, low morale. Then you have the Costco method: low turnover rate, high morale, good pay. What else you got? Benefits, etc. I remember when I signed up for Costco about 2 years or so ago. Hadn't done it for a long time. Thought about it. Went in, talked to the lady. She was 28 or 30 years old. She'd been doing this for 12 years. She likes the rate of pay. She's got an increase of rate of pay. She has vacation. She has health care. I understand that none of those things are really available or are available at such a nominal extent at Walmart. But again, what we have here is Hillary is saying the government has a vital role in helping the average American worker, and the Republicans are saying, no, we don't have any role whatsoever. We're just going to let the market dictate it, and we're going to write laws so that people can pay a lot less taxes if they make a lot of money, you see. And then it's just, hey, anybody can get ahead if they really try. You know, that old adage, that should be the thing for the Republicans. Anybody can get ahead if they really try, which there will always be some that will always be able to get ahead. But the vast majority of people are average working people. They need a vital, dynamic, forward-looking government looking out for their interests, looking out for the country, and not looking out, for the corporate interests. That's what we need.